everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. On a lazy, hazy day of summer, sometimes you have plans. Then sometimes those plans fall through due to extreme weather patterns. I had no intention of doing so today, but today I ended up at a comic show with my kids because our original plans fell through because it was just too darn hot to go outside. So I decided, because I can't do anything without sharing this, of course, that I would show the comics I bought today, because I'm actually pretty proud of some of the ones I got, because I got stuff that finish and fill holes, but also finish runs. And I'm actually very happy about this. Before I get into the books, though, I want to make a couple quick shout outs. I want to say hey to Big Nasty Comics and Choco Comics. I really enjoy their big show that they have on Saturday nights. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and I hope they keep it up. I really also like what Bleeker's been doing with Church. A lot of people who've been on there have been a lot of fun to watch. It's been very entertaining. But also, I'd like to point out the FOMO Squad, hosted by Nate every Tuesday night. Nate Hagen, Dope, and SideQuest Comics are just hilarious together, and they always have the most fun. I'm very, consider myself very lucky to have contact with all of them, and to be able to have the opportunity to watch them so often. They're just so funny. I used to think, okay, my wife and I cut the cable a couple years ago. Now, outside of NFL football, I didn't really care that much. But I did like to watch like the comedies that were on, and sometimes the like NCIS and stuff. Well, I've discovered that I can download everything, so really I'm not really missing much. But I honestly thought that by cutting the cable, I would not find amusing things to watch. And YouTube has been a salvation, not just for my channel, but for the fact that there's so much content out there. And this is just in the comic book area that you can spend hours watching and not realize the time you've lost and be thoroughly entertained. Each and every person who's out there doing a YouTube channel, whether it's comics or anything else, is doing a hell of a job. I know how much effort goes into this. I know how it can be taxing a little bit, or sometimes to think of content. But you know what? I applaud you for doing it all out there. I also thank everybody who takes the time to watch this stuff, because even though I would sit here and talk to a camera, and if I had two people watching, I'd be satisfied, I still appreciate the fact that people come by to watch my stuff. And I'd like you people out there to know that you kids out there who make content, we appreciate you. Keep up the fun. I hope it's still fun. Thank you very much. And I hope that for more than all, that it's a positive experience, because that the world needs more positivity. Okay, now that I've done my rant and speech for the day, let's get into the books. The first three I'm going to show are ones I'm very happy to show, because they finish a run of one of my favorite characters. Now, I will preface this saying that there's only 8 books to this series. So it's not that hard. But it is a series that's actually harder to find books for, because it's a mid-70s series that there are not a lot of people that collect them. And I, of course, am referring to The Son of Satan. I have managed to get issues 2, 3, and 4, thus completing the run. And to give you an idea, this actually took me 3 years to find every book from the run. So it was very nice. The next thing I'm going to show you are books that I bought because I have decided actively to buy more non-DC and Marvel older books from companies such as the following, like Gold Key. And the reason is I need to expand my knowledge and I want to expose myself to more stuff that I haven't necessarily read over the years. I have lots of time in my life to read comics. Why not read as many different things as I can? So, I picked up some Bugs Bunny today. This is issue 116. $120. 123. And what's up, Doc? 128. I particularly find this cover amusing that he's cutting banana slices to play checkers with carrots and bananas. Never mind that the bananas would stick there. And the last one I got was issue 136, which has him kicking a lobster out of a fish store. Do lobsters eat fish? Do crabs have eyebrows? Next up, I got a few single issues from some series that I'm collecting. I got New Defenders 128. As people know, I'm collecting the Defenders run. I like it very much because now, unfortunately, the New Defenders run is after Son of Satan and Hellcat have left, but, you know, I still like the characters that are left. And actually, they took it in a direction that I found a little amusing when they brought in the 3 X-Men. Pardon me, I need a second. The next one I got, I remember reading some of these when I was a kid and thinking this is one of the coolest sets ever. It actually helped me when I was getting into Marvel, learning about the various characters. And that is the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, which my friends and I call Ohatmu. This is number 2, which is BC. Similar to the Who's Who of DC. But this one is a little more detailed than the DC books were. And you get all art from all the great artists from the time. Now, I recently have bought this. This is my first actual, the Mega Man 3, the first actual slab I went for. So I read the story online because I like to read everything I own. Naturally, it's to be continued. So naturally, when I saw it today, I picked up Omega Man 4. At the very least, I can continue the story. I have a feeling I'm going to end up buying all the Omega Men because once I have 2 or 3 of a book, I can't not keep going because I'm crazy that way. The next 2 bits I found in bargain bins, and so I picked them up because there's both series that I, although not actively trying to finish, if I see them for a nice cheap price, I enjoy them. This is the Punisher Warzone number 7. Number 8. Number 8. Number 8. If you know that, smile. And this is Darkhawk number 9. I ended up, without realizing it, with about 15 issues of the Darkhawk series when I bought well, I guess it was almost 2 years ago at this point. And so I've slowly been filling out the missing numbers as I find them in the again in the cheaper bins. You can get decent copies like this in the $2, $1 bins. So Darkhawk 9. The next 3 are because I am a FOMO, I don't want to say idiot, but yeah, I'm a FOMO idiot. More specifically, a previously mentioned person whose name shall remain nameless, Nate, is a big fan of this character, and as a result, I've started checking it out. This is Dazzler number 6. Dazzler 7. All of these were in a $2 bid today. And Dazzler 8. She looks mad. I wonder what it is. And she looks alien with that red skin. It's kind of cool. The last bunch of the books that I got today, and there aren't that many left, are DC. And they all fit with certain themes that I do collect and that I am actively collecting. I have been working on getting these. These are the anything the Ambush Bug. I have his collection in the Showcase Presents, the black and white, but I haven't had them in years, and I had them all when I was younger in my first collection. So I've been putting back together whenever I can. This is Son of Ambush Bug number 1. I think I've seen this motif before somewhere. Son of Ambush Bug number 3, because I already have 2 and 4. Son of Ambush Bug number 5. And Son of Ambush Bug number 6, which finishes the series. Ambush Bug is great because, you know, it's a joke. And the thing is, I like joke characters. So it's by one of my favorite creators, Keith Giffen. And, you know, the fact that he's a fourth wall breaker, and he came out before Deadpool, is just absolutely funny and beyond belief. Next up, all DC, we have Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 117. Features a great cover. Apparently the world is turned upside down. But what is even better about this cover is look at those stockings. Or boots. They're boots. Those are the boots from the 1970s that I've always loved. Nope, did I say that out loud? Oops. Next up is probably one book that is actually on a lot of people's want lists. Now, this is not in great condition, but I found it hard to even find this book. And so when I saw it for the price that I got it for, I took a gamble and I said, I'm going to get this and I'll inspect it and see what kind of condition it's in after. But this is the Spectre 3 from the 1960s series. With the great Neal Adams cover, it has a Neal Adams interior as well. And it's a very famous book as a result. And this is one of the ones besides issues 1 and 10 of the Spectre run that people want to collect. Also, I'm a big fan of Wildcat. So anytime there's a Wildcat cover, I'm pretty cool with getting it. I lied. The next 2 books are not DC. Although they are Mike Grell, so it's still something that I'm actively collecting. I got John Sable 32. Nice flag cover. And John Sable Freelance. They're all freelance. Number 37. In this one, I see this cover and right away I think, oh look, it's Steve Irwin, except it's got a gun. So he's more likely the dentist that shoots lions. Anyway. Last 3 books. These are DC, I promise you. I got Superboy 108. I did not pay what the price that's on there. And Superboy 148. And the last book I got was the only missing book I had from the Sandman Superman saga, and this is Superman 234. As you can see, the Sandman Superman is flying across the sun, and Superman, whenever he's in close by to him, has his powers taken away. Great story. This is the story that this is the issue right after the famous Neil Adams cover one. This is a Neil Adams cover as well, but the one there, Superman with the number 1 breaking the kryptonite chains, is the issue before. So this is part 2 of the story, and specifically, this is the one where he actually meets the Sandman Superman for the first time. I think it's the first full appearance. However, considering he hasn't really been seen since that story, it's kind of a moot point. So those are the books I picked up today at the show I went to. If please comment, like, and subscribe below. I want you to comment on what books you liked, and I want you to, you can comment if you didn't like any of the books. You can also hate the video if you like. I mean, as long as you tell me so. I really appreciate, as I said, all the time that everybody gives for us. I had a blast at this show. My kids came with me. My daughter, to her love of God, bought her first Pokemon cards, and I hope to hell this isn't going to become a thing, because I don't want her spending her money like I spend my money. You know, do as I say, not as I do. Because she doesn't play the game. She doesn't know how to play the game, but she has some characters she likes. So she picked up the cards for those characters. And all I can think of is, no, don't become me. Anyway, I'm a good guy. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed yourself with this video. Thank you for sticking with me this long. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.